Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together.
Yes.
Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I am the great and peaceful Mr. E.
And I'm Jay. And I'm so glad it's Friday.
Mm-hmm. Are you excited about today's animal?
I'm always excited. It's Friday.
Do you know what today's animal is?
I was going to guess a goat.
It's not a goat.
Uh,
Has double as many legs.
So it's a spider.
It is. Flying spiders.
Flying spiders.
Mm-hmm.
They got legs and wings.
You ever seen a flying spider?
I've seen jumping spiders.
No, I mean flying spiders.
I don't think so.
Well, you probably haven't not even realized it.
They actually fly, or are they like falling with style?
No, I mean, okay, let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
They don't just fall with style,
Oh.
but it's not technically powered flight.
Ooh,
It's probably
so it's like a
somewhere in
kite.
between.
Is
It
like
literally is a kite. Yep.
Yeah.
Flying spiders include a large number of spider species. They can move through the air, almost like they are taking flight. However, these arachnids don't fly in the traditional sense because they lack wings or appendages to do such an action. Instead, they take advantage of what they do have, their silk strands, and they ride them on the wind like tiny hand gliders.
Interesting.
So let's talk about them. So first off, flying spiders use ballooning is the type of technique it's called.
Okay.
So it's not flying technically, but it's weird, kind of this middle ground where if you look at like flying snakes and stuff like that, that's gliding.
Right.
This is more than that, but they are not flying. It's a hard line to distinguish.
They're not flapping.
Yeah, but they are using something from their body to fly.
Right.
But it's because the wind or static electricity is picking them up.
It's more like sailing.
Yeah. Sailing, or you said like a kite and stuff like that. And it's not controlled.
Okay.
They have a limited access, more like a hot air balloon when it comes to that.
Right, yeah, basically.
So they can still make themselves go up and down, kind of, but they are subject to the wind and weather. When, like, let's say a bat or a bird or a flying insect, like dragonflies, can get out of the rain, go up, down, on their own will.
Yeah. Very accurate hunters.
Yeah.
You said something about electromagnetic?
Static electricity.
Oh, static electric. Okay.
We'll talk about that. Although the flying spiders terrify people, these arachnids are no threat to humans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just is a name that scares people because we'll talk, like in Texas, there's a couple been invasions of the flying spiders.
Okay.
They freak people out.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Well, the whole towns are covered in spider webs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks like it's water.
Yeah.
Because it's blowing in the wind.
Millions of little spiders
webs
landed in a town.
Now, we've had that here before, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think I've woken up to...
So they normally disperse much more spread out than that. But every once in a while, there'll be a special event where whatever the wind conditions or weather conditions are and dumps a whole bunch of them in one spot. That's really when the only time they're noticeable. Because generally, this is a baby spider thing.
Oh.
That they use to get, to spread out through environments and stuff like that.
Okay.
There are some adult species that use this, but it's generally, it's going to be younger members of a species.
Okay.
Trying to get away from their parents' territories and that kind of stuff.
Right, spreading out.
So flying spiders, also known as ballooning spiders, which is the more accurate type of name, are a unique spider or type of arachnid. Despite their name, they don't actually fly in the traditional sense like birds, insects, and mammals do. Instead, they employ a technique called ballooning, which they use to travel through the air. They release a silk thread from their bodies. They catch the wind and float to new locations, sometimes covering extremely vast distances. And there's actually some scientific research into these guys that they may be using the static electricity or electrical charge in the air on this piece of silk they're releasing to glide around as well. So they may be actually riding the electrical currents of the Earth.
Interesting. So they're proof. Well, I don't know.
They're still researching it, right? It's extremely hard to research.
No, yeah, totally.
They're very small, obviously, and most of these species is one small part of their life cycle.
Yeah.
Physically, ballooning spiders resemble typical spiders: 8 legs, body divided into abdomen and ciliothorax. They also come in various sizes and colors, ranging from tiny species like spiderlings of the money spider and families to even larger ones. However, their abilities to balloon set them apart from their ground-dwelling counterparts. Any questions so far?
Well, I was just going to say that I guess it would be pretty hard to measure the static electric charge of a spider web in mid-flight.
It's a leading theory right now.
Yeah.
It's like the bumblebee wing.
Right.
Talk.
It vibrates.
Yeah. That technically by surface area and their mass, they cannot flap hard enough to fly. But they kind of break the rules of physics to get around that, which that'll be its own separate freaky fauna day one day. Because I love bumblebees. Hate carpenter bees because they're eating my garage. But love bumblebees.
I still have a theory that carpenter bees are really just, they're drones. They're flying. You ever seen them just buzz around and just watch everything?
Oh, yeah. They were just doing that to us.
And they sit like,
a chicken got one yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because he was watching me.
Yeah.
And one of the chickens was like sneaking up on it and went.
And got it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty fascinating.
Shouldn't have been watching me.
Nope. So the drones, that backfired.
Where can you find flying spiders? In terms of habitat preference, flying spiders can be found worldwide, inhabiting diverse environments ranging from forests to meadows to urban areas to deserts. These species are normally highly adaptable and can exploit even the most challenging ecosystems. This adaptability contributes to their success in their dispersal and colonization of new territories. So they have like massive, with their way to spread out and stuff like that, they have massive gaps
Of where they are
in their range.
Yeah.
But these species can show up anywhere on the planet. They've even been documented crossing oceans.
Dang.
Because they just get up in the thermal currents and they just ride it.
With their silk balloon, basically?
Yeah. James and the Giant Flying Peach style.
Ah, there you go. Wasn't there a spider in that?
Yes.
I thought so. I've only seen bits and pieces.
Oh, it's Atlas likes that movie a lot. It's a good movie.
It was good. Movie. Parts I've seen are good. I always wanted
a rhino.
I don't know.
That was the villain. One of the villains.
The only part I remember is him carving out like the hole and climbing into the peach, and that's it.
So, how do these spiders actually fly? Flying spiders, known as ballooning spiders, employ a unique method to travel through the air. Unlike birds and insects, they don't possess wings or any other appendages to do this. They rely on a technique called ballooning to take flight. To do this process, the spiders climb to an elevated point, raise their abdomens, and release a silk thread. The thread catches wind, allowing the spiders to be carried along with it. Now, this is another theory to go along with this is, like we already talked about, the static charge. That they are either positively or negatively charging their silk
webs. Yeah.
And riding the electrical currents of the earth. But more research needs to go in.
Right. That's pretty fascinating if that's true.
Either way is really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Just, you're either flying with a piece of string or you're flying with electricity. We do that.
Both are cool.
We don't fly with a piece of string.
Not yet.
Not yet. Any questions before I get into their facts? So, freaky fun fact number one: flying spiders encompass many different species. Ballooning spiders, also known as ballooning spiders, spelled a little differently, using a unique technique to travel through the air. That's just a group. A bunch of different species can do this, range in all kinds of sizes. I think the largest one that does this is a little bigger than a quarter.
Okay.
Which is fairly big for a flying arachnid.
Right, yeah.
And most of the time, they're going to be really tiny.
Gotcha.
But there's tons of species here in North America that they're spiderlings, they're babies. This is how they travel.
Oh, okay.
Actually, do you remember Charlotte's Web did this?
I don't remember.
So that's what all the babies, when they're saying bye to Wilbur, only one stayed behind because the rest of them got on the fence post and released thread and flew.
Flew away?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Charlotte's Web.
Historically accurate.
Historically accurate. Flying spiders don't have wings, despite their names. That's the next fact. They rely on a process called ballooning to fly. Now, here's, like we were talking about, freaky fun fact number 3. Wind and the electrical field take them very far. Flying spiders can use both wind and electrical currents from the earth to get around. So, why this is important is that it determines how much free will they have in the air.
Okay.
Wind, you're at the mercy of it, like sailing ships.
Right.
You ever heard of the horse latitudes?
No.
It's the zones in the oceans. There's two, one in the northern hemisphere, one in the southern hemisphere, where there's no wind.
Just, it's calm.
So ships that pass through that would have to kill all their horses on board because they couldn't, it would literally, the smallest part of the travel would take months to get across.
Huh.
So all their horses would either starve to death or eat too many, so they'd literally throw their horses in the ocean.
Jeez. That's horrible.
So they're in the middle of the Atlantic. There's a mass horse graveyard from the horse latitudes.
Oh my gosh.
So to get to the spiders, if they are at the mercy of the wind, they'll just end up wherever. Like we talked about them getting dumped in that Texas town or around here. It doesn't happen nearly as like dramatically as some of the southern ones, but some of the southern ones, literally, the whole town is like covered in spooky spider webs, like a Halloween decoration.
It looks like water, like an ocean.
Yeah. If they're using electrical currents and they can actually change the charge of their webbing, they have more direction then.
Slightly.
Yeah, no, I mean they can raise and lower easier, and they can actually kind of hitch onto the currents.
I still imagine the wind's going to be a bigger factor.
I mean, when you're that size, it's like terminal velocity, right?
I guess.
When you're falling, you can drop an ant from the Empire State Building.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
A cat, I think you can too.
Well, that's what I think the wind would override even electrical charge at that point. If something that small, maybe, I don't know.
See, there's no surface area to catch.
Maybe. I don't know.
See, I don't think it would. I think the electricity would be much more powerful at that size.
Well, what do you think at home?
Yeah. Let us know.
Are you team wind or team electric?
Ballooning spiders rely on silk to make their balloons. They climb up to a point, release their silk threads, get carried along with it. Freaky fun fact number 5 is this can take them all around the world. Flying spiders can travel remarkable distances by utilizing this method. Some of you can make journeys and cross entire oceans. They have the ability to disperse and colonize new territories through ballooning. So they can end up anywhere. The species here in North America can end up in Europe.
I felt like I've had that in a bad dream before.
Flying spiders, ballooning in.
Not so much that, but were you or at the mercy of, like, you get pulled up into the, I don't know, and you're at the mercy of the wind, or you're just up really high and you don't know where you're going to land? I don't know if you've ever had that nightmare.
No, I've had that in the river and stuff like that, where boat hunters go out and we're at the mercy of the river.
Right, yeah. Scary.
It is. Like I already said, flying spiders can be found around the world. These arachnids, first off, exhibit a remarkable range of adaptivity, thriving in diverse habitats from around the world. Like I said, forests, meadows, grasslands, urban areas, deserts.
Pretty much survive anywhere.
Yeah, they don't really care.
There's a floating flying spider city in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Probably.
Probably.
There's probably an ant one though. You ever seen the Amazonian ants that make the big boats?
Yeah. Where they shove them down in the water, and it's almost like they create a waterproof.
No, they do.
Bubble.
Because they break the water, or they keep the water tension.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy.
So there's probably is just a mat of ants out there eating tunas. Like catching, like literally making colonies go down and catch tuna and drag them back up.
It's like working like a cyanophore.
Literally, yeah. They have very short lifespans. Most species really max out at 2 years. The average species is 1.5 years, but there's many that don't even make it a full year in this category.
Yeah. They should be called daredevil spiders.
Well, you don't live that long. They're just like, whatever. Life's short.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they live the lifestyle.
And this is also reflected in Charlotte's Web.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah, she died at the second season, the end of the second summer season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like in the movie or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when she died. She was 2 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I don't remember. I gotta revisit Charlotte's Web.
Was great. Everybody at home.
I liked it as a kid.
And you never knew she was a ballooning spider.
I had no idea.
Uneducated.
Well, not anymore. That's what Freaky Fauna Friday is all about.
My last fact for you is ballooning spiders can change sex.
Wow.
Some types of ballooning spiders can change from male to biological female. Possible for spiders to choose when to do so to make reproduction more possible. There's a lot of species here on Earth that do it. Fish and invertebrates are much more common. Some amphibians. I don't know of any mammals.
Frogs?
There's a lot of frogs.
Oh, okay.
They can do that. That's like the Jurassic Park thing.
Oh, okay.
Because that's why they were all female, but some of them switched to male.
Gotcha.
Generally, it's the other way.
Male to female.
Yeah, but there are some, like the hump-headed parrotfish, that can go like females to males because there's only one male in a colony. So whoever's the biggest female after like the male gets caught or eaten will become the male.
Wow. Life finds a way.
Yeah. So these guys can do that too, but they don't know. So this seems to be a choice. Some it's like more hormone based. So let's say like for the the hump-headed parrotfish.
Come on.
He releases a pheromone in the water. And when he disappears, he stops releasing a pheromone. So then the next biggest one is like, all right, starts changing.
It's my turn.
These guys may actually choose when they do it.
Huh, okay.
So if they get tired of really looking for a mate, but they've ran into others of their same gender a lot, they'll just, all right, well, it's time to switch.
All right.
Yeah. Any questions about flying spiders?
Yeah, very interesting.
Are they? There's a couple like frequently asked questions because people freak out when you say flying spider.
Right. Yeah.
These guys are harmless. Flying spiders, are they venomous? Many species of flying spider are, but not all, are venomous. The venom held in ballooning spiders is not fatal to human. Typically, these animals will not bite humans unless they are like being crushed. And even if they do bite, it's more typical of a normal house spider bite.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're allergic, you may have some issues. But most people be like, "Oh, I got bit by a spider."
Yeah. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it.
I'm trying to look. While thousands of ballooning spiders crawl around the planet, witnesses of these, it's really hard to find spots to see these guys because this is like, if you're, looking into arachnids and stuff like that, this is something people want to see. And there's not really a lot of rhyme or reason.
Where they're at or where to find them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really a good place to say like, oh, I want to go see a flying spider event.
Right, yeah.
There's not really a good place. Like I said, Texas is the one that's famous because it was on the news, like literally the whole town, cars, everything. People were terrified. But yeah. Any questions about flying spiders?
Oh, they're pretty interesting little creatures.
Yeah, I
little
thought
fellers.
They always fascinated me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte from Charlotte's Web was one, which I can't believe you didn't know. Uneducated.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't even know what kind of pig Wilbur is.
Or Hampshire.
I
think that's right, but I'm not 100% sure.
I have no idea.
There's a lot of pink pigs.
Yeah. I mean, I just like the movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
What was the rat's name?
I don't remember. I literally have not seen this since I was single digits. So it's been a while. I'm old now.
All the trash he was eating always looked good.
I can't remember that.
Just whoever animated it.
I just remember him talking to the spider in the corner. She would leave the messages up there and he would talk to her and give him advice.
Some pig.
Some pig. Is that what she said?
That was the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So she was talking crap. Is that right or no?
No.
Oh, then what's some pig mean?
No, it was just like he's a really cool pig. Like he's a good pig.
Oh.
Wow, that's some pig.
I see. I took it as more like some pig. Like, oh, you bringing this new one? Some pig. Guess not.
All right. What's the words going into the weekend?
Well, it's spring is coming. Well, no, spring is here.
Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung. April showers bring May flowers, and we're on into May. So it's flower time. So go out, see the flowers, smell the flowers, touch the flowers, breathe the flowers, be the flowers.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.